Popcorn. Wow, fresh. You see,
that's what weed
does. That's what weed does. You can see sound, and
See
you
the
can
sound
hear
and hear.
colours and stuff.
And smell.
Smell. You can hear smells.
Touch.
You can hear your own smells.
That's what a fart is, isn't
Yeah,
it?
you can hear it.
Your own smells.
That's smell your own hairs.
Yeah, that's pretty hot in here already, folks. Welcome to the HotBox podcast. Tonight you're joined by myself, Buzz, Dan, Fred, and Jules.
Hello.
Oh, looking forward to speaking dank with all y'all.
In the
and
dank
also all
tank.
you guys, the dank tank now.
Dank in the dank tank.
In the damn tank.
It's pretty
Dankery.
dank in the tank already though. I feel like my flame has got 10% THC in it from all the dabs.
Maybe we should just call it the Dankery.
The dankery.
Scrub the HotBox show. It's a bit too bland. This is the Dankery.
The dankery.
But you guys come up nice on the YouTube listings, eh? When you hashtag the HotBox show, it comes up. There's you guys first on the,
Really?
Yeah.
Fantastic. I
You
didn't know
guys
that.
and a music video afterwards.
Wow,
so.
the crew's working nicely in the background,
Yeah,
huh?
so yeah.
Yeah,
You've got a winning
SEOs.
one. I don't know. I don't exactly know how hashtags work. Do you have to reinvent, or can you just add the new one on?
No, we've just started again. There isn't a HotBox show as a hashtag that I can see, but there is a HotBox show as a website, which is a bit of a bummer.
Oh no.
Yeah,
and
we
on
wanted
Google,
to.
.com.
There is a com site, but .co says coming to a
Cool.
device near you
You.
soon. Because
Coming to the
we
Matrix.
had this book about YouTube taking down all the sites.
Yeah.
Really?
YouTube was taking down all these weed sites, but I mean major weed sites. This is
Really?
not just
Some of the longest running like video.
hundreds of thousands of subscribers
Yeah.
and no warning,
Wow.
no nothing.
Wow.
So we decided that because we're about weed, and we're breaking the law. We got weed. Look, you are an
yeah.
enemy of state, Brew. Look.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
That's
Cool.
how
Cool, Brew. Another enemy of the state.
So, Fred, tell us a little bit, like, just to give you guys some history. So, we first heard about the Couch Ninjas, like, what, 5 years
Yeah,
ago?
no, it's way-
like,
it's a-
way back at the
it's-
beginning, we were, like, little advocates, and then we got, like, a Couch Ninjas album, and it turns out Fred's the lead singer or something?
Yeah, I've sing and I play bass.
Okay.
I invited you guys to do something. We launched these stickers, and we're like, okay, cool, we're going to try and sell stickers. And
That
become
was
wealthy,
it. The
like-
stickers to buy the combi.
Yeah.
We're going to buy a combi and
didn't
travel
work out.
around the country legalizing weed on
From
base.
stickers.
From stickers.
And
That
how's
Stickers
that
and
sticker
bass.
money going?
sticker money didn't really take off. So
Sticker fund.
The stickers and bass show.
yeah,
Hey.
didn't really take off. So I've reinvented myself with dungarees now.
Alright.
So, because we wrote this song called Dache.
Okay.
Like, I dig the word Dache because it's a South African word. So,
Yeah.
so we're like, okay.
Well, you're one of the few, eh? Some people just...
Yeah, a lot of people hate it,
they
yeah.
can't handle it, eh?
They
But I
cringe.
dig Dache, yeah.
They cringe.
So, we wrote this song, and it's basically just about anti-prohibition. And we kind of are thinking in the way of, like, the way music is now, in terms of, like, availability, it's super available. So our whole thing is to rather just, if you have a song, we have, like, a product that belongs to the song, you know what I'm saying? So, like, the idea is that people can wear our song. Like, you buy a pair of dungarees, we'll send you our song, Dache, and it's all about, like, anti-prohibition and just basically all prohibition. We think it's almost like, that whole, I saw this thing like in The Simpsons where Chief Officer Wiggum goes to his little kid. He's like, don't go into what is it about me and my cupboard of mystery? You know what I'm saying? And I think that's actually what,
Yeah, dude.
that's what encourages people to get fucked up. You know
I
what
call
I'm saying?
that the forbidden fruit effect.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what makes me, the moment you say
Don't
no
go there,
to me,
no.
it piques my curiosity.
Yeah,
course.
exactly, yeah. And I think, like, if things were legal, less people would do them because it would take away that mystique.
Absolutely.
Oh, 100%.
It'd be
And
so
it's-
fucking boring. Do
Yeah.
you think weed would get boring if we
Well,
legalized it?
the thrill behind
But
doing
when
it
we-
behind the your parent or behind
That's how
anyone's back.
That's why I started smoking weed, just to sort of piss off your parents
Yeah.
and be a rebel. And that was the reason the laws were put in place for those rebels, not the weed. It was for the people that were actually doing that.
Yes, the ones that have the balls to break the system.
That's right.
Yeah.
Think it
Live outside
Live
it,
outside
or
of
not
it, yes.
give a fuck about it, or something.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the art. I reckon the art of it all is to be within the system, but to live outside it. You have to have a bank account. You have to have some sort of insurance and a PIN number.
You gotta wear the
and stuff.
mask.
You have to be in there in the game,
Wear the mask, but below what you...
right? But then
Yeah.
but
Well,
that's-
I think you got to jump through the hoops to get your goals done, but at the same time, you always you always can be involved in a struggle, like you guys are involved in the struggle, which is why sort of we're like, well, that's why we
Smoke weed.
Yeah, that's why. But no, that's
why
why we're like behind what you guys do, because like I think music is in the state now where it's done everything. Like all the traditional methods of selling music are outdated already. So you have to sort of use your music as a movement. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
Be outspoken.
There's no couch ninjas in Musica.
exactly. There won't be.
Well, there's no point.
Unless we're selling dungarees in Musica. In
Right.
which case,
Or you cut the album with Kurt Darren.
fuck, dude. That would be a good marketing. It would be a good.
Yeah, nobody would
There's
forget.
no press
Unforgettable.
like bad press.
Yeah. It's either that or get into a fight with the Kiffness online.
Who are the Kiffness?
No way! Okay.
So I know very
Let's not do a
little
history thing there. Kiffness are a band that are more relevant for their social media presence and calling the Oaks out than being a band at the moment.
Is it? Eh?
Yeah, but it's a Kiff name.
Yeah, the Kiffness. It's also local. Yeah. Yeah.
What?
The Kiffness.
The Kiffness. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I think we must do one called the Keefness.
Hairy Farmer's given us 3 spliffs. We got 3 spliffs online for good sound, good picture, and Neilio's there. Smoked a forbidden fruit.
Ooh,
Oh,
I smell a
what's
seed.
Yeah,
we
I
miss
smell
you,
a
Brent.
seed.
a seed or a cate.
Jesus, what is that?
That's a seed.
In what?
In that.
What? From where?
It's
From
joint.
that
Yeah.
tropical haze.
I feel like I'm going to get kicked out of here because I've missed a pip in the weed.
Mr. Pip. Was this out of the tropical haze?
Such a,
Yeah. It's
such
got a
an
shell.
offensive smell. It's such a like. You've got this nice sweet smell,
Wow.
sweet
Nice, huh?
sweet bud, and then all of a
Nice
sudden a
things,
seed
yeah.
burns, and it smells like piss.
But is that something you Oaks can notice? Like if someone's smoking a bong, because Dan's got a good nose for smelling if there's a pip in a joint or just a bit of shell.
Instantly,
yeah.
instantly, it's the fats, it's the,
afraid
it's the,
so.
it's the oils in the it puts it off immediately. And even when you're smoking it,
It's the
and if I hit it, if someone's rolling a joint, I literally grip the joint and just throw like the quarter of it away and say, okay, sorry, there's a seed there.
Burn it off.
the
That
scourge of
stinks.
the outdoor grow.
Yeah, and they say that you smoke seeds, you get impotent.
Really?
Really?
Oh,
Is that on
they say.
Wikipedia?
They say yes.
Can you Wikipedia that, please, and just see impotency and seed smoking? What do you
I
reckon?
think you'd have to really mess up a lot.
You'd
of
imagine if you smoked your seed, you'd get more of them. It wouldn't be impotent, you'd be like firing full on.
But also, I think you'd have to be like smoking. If it is true, I imagine a lot of seed. So your joint, you know those little crackers you used to have as a kid and you'd light the whole string and throw it and go ba 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 ba. You need to be smoking joints that are so full of pips, they go ba 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 ba.
Yeah, and all their clothes, everyone's clothes has got a pip hole in it somewhere.
That's crazy. That's an ugly way to have holes in your clothes. Like it's okay if you're smoking hash. Like
Yeah,
good hash.
okay, that's okay.
like-
Then it's a good reason.
Yeah, it's a good reason. Yeah.
maybe-
You're smoking pips. You're like, I've got these wholesome pips. People are gonna
And mine person I was smoking Jap nose. It was really good weed with lots of seeds. No.
It was the hash that was dripping out of it. But maybe that'll be a thing. Like, have you seen now? Like we've always had ripped jeans, which is fashionable, and now there's almost no jeans, which are just the frames of that. But maybe
Only
that will
jeans.
be a style. You'll buy designer shirts that have hash and pip holes in them.
Nice.
Hey?
Pip holes in your pip holes.
Ah, dude.
Maybe there'll be,
Hash threads.
hash threads.
Hash threads.
But these are little burn holes through them all. Yeah,
Pip holes
God.
for the people, by the people.
You know
Buy
what?
them people.
You don't see hash that does that too often anymore. There's not much really cool hash out there. I don't see much really good hash.
Not much in SA. We
I
haven't got
don't
a
think
strong
the hash
hash
scene in South
culture.
Africa
It
is that
really
big
isn't, and
anymore.
it's a shame because I grew
Dropped.
up
Would
with
you
it.
say
you know?
globally or just here?
Yeah.
Here, it's people do their byproduct stuff from their shake, their isolate, isn't it, and stuff. But there's nobody grows to make hash. I
Yeah.
don't think
Because
because
no one
it's so
knows
decadent.
no one knows the art of making proper hash. Like
Yeah.
there are a few in the country maybe.
You need the side of a mountain.
Good
That's
hash is
exactly
nice.
that. You
You
decide
really-
on a mountain like they have where it comes from. Red
Right.
seal, black seal, all that's
Really?
the same. It's all that is the same. Simply the seal colour is a
Why
depiction
does
of
it
where
have to
it's
be on
from
the side
in the
of the
mountain.
mountain?
Say again?
No, we're talking about quantity.
Oh,
You need a lot of
sorry.
plants, but you got to walk through the fields and
Oh,
rub your
yeah,
hands
yeah,
and
I
rub
rub
your
it
hand
into
carrots
little
and
nuts.
they
It's
make.
super decadent. that thing.
Super decadent, but what a profound stone, dude.
Do you think the guys that walk through are like crazy oppressed? The guys that wear the suits and like, do you think they're like? Do you think they're like they're doing and they're like the guys with AKs and they're like?
No.
No,
Do you think,
no,
you
the-
think it's chilled like?
the
that's-
Parvati Valley's the Wild West, but I still think it's done with a lot of spirit up there.
Okay, you
Yeah,
think the
no,
guys?
it's a
Because
very-
I think they
The
would be
families
cool.
do it.
Just walk
Families
around
still
with
run
a
it,
suit
and it's
on.
still family. It's a family
Okay,
thing. It's
cool.
not run by like.
Charis is supreme. It's the most supreme preparation in my mind of all cannabis products. Hand rolled Charis from 20,000 feet.
Must be amazing.
That's the thing.
What is Charis?
A lot of love
Charis
goes
is the
into it.
resin off the plant
okay,
that you attract by doing that, and that's that ball of sticky
You know what it's
stuff.
like, if I can explain it? So, you know when you were a little kid in school and you had the Prit, and you take the Prit and rub your fingers and make the whip? It's like rubbing Prit, like you rub the hash off the plant with the stickiness and you build it up.
Nice.
It's the most decadent form. It's not the strongest, but it's very decadent.
But it's nice. Like a friend of mine once rolled a pure hash joint. It was like amazing. It was like a really, really.
It's profound.
Super
Yeah, no, it goes in
chilled.
deep, and you get hot and cold, and it lasts forever.
Yeah.
Fuck you can't break out of it if you're having a cack time, and sometimes you do, because it is very deep. It does chill you down, and you go hash.
Yeah,
God,
but if you have a proper hash joint where they mix it with
Take you
tobacco,
out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
no, I
knocks
can't
you.
do that anymore.
that's
That's
not
how
good
Europe-
because of the
in
tobacco,
Europe,
the
that's
pure
how
tobacco,
smoking-
and in the hash. There you walk down the streets of England, and it's just you see old men walking with a big hash joint.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Hash,
you remember
hash.
Nick? We had Nick on last week.
Yes.
He comes from the land of hash
Yeah,
joints
yeah.
and tobacco. We
Yeah.
grew up. That's where we're from.
Yeah.
That kind of hash stuff.
You know,
Got
you're
hash
saying
here.
how
No hash. No
you
hash
know,
this week.
it's
surprised they're not oppressed. They're not like under government or military run. The Hashish Mountains.
Yeah.
I was watching last night on TV. It's this a BBC program, Gordon on Coke. So Gordon Ramsay, he did that documentary. Where
Gordon on coke. I
Yeah,
think
it's
is
called
he cooking with coke?
Isn't he always on
He's
coke?
basically
He's
like,
room.
Like,
Two
it
lines in
seems
the
like
room.
if they just ran the camera a little bit before he started to take, you'd just be doing like
So
big
anyway,
ass rail. It's like, okay, whose restaurant needs help? Fuck,
So anyway, they go to the mountain, and the same thing. Like there's a man in the mountain on his own, pulling the leaves off and taking a whole ton of it into a big like room and like this, and taking a weed eater and chopping it up. But no one with military, nothing. It's
Really,
literally, he's doing it for his family, and that's it. There's
That's
no like, you got to do this, otherwise your family's gone.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah,
But then he makes it anyway, and then Gordon does. He dips his finger inside. He's like, yeah, this is good. This is wow. I'm like, yeah, shit.
It's probably like fake coke.
Obviously, not the first time he's done that.
Well, he's in
Did
the
you ever see
restaurant
the-
industry, like Anthony Bourdain, rest in peace. Just like that guy, he put it straight out there. He told you what it was like in the restaurant industry.
Did you
Did
ever
you
see
read? Have you
the
read Kitchen
Yeah,
Confidential?
that's what I read.
I haven't read it.
Kitchen Confidential is amazing book to read.
Which one?
Kitchen Confidential.
A friend of mine
Anthony
said it
Bourdain's
sounds
book.
amazing.
Right.
He's that chef that just
Welcome to the
committed
HotBox
suicide.
cooking show. Let's get on to our first story of the week, eh?
Have we got some stories?
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
News of
Oh,
the
We
week.
just
could
as
go
well.
on,
We
yeah,
could
we could,
go
yeah.
on.
The Weekly News.
The weekly
Okay.
news. Stand by
So-
for the most bizarre weekly news we could find.
So this story was, I'm reading it from IOL, but I think it originally appeared in the Cape Argus. And it's an opinion piece, so I'll give it that. It tunes, legalizing cannabis can put a dent in crime statistics. And it says, I read with interest that the Canadian Senate had passed a bill legalizing the use of cannabis. The bill now needs to be approved by the Canadian House of Assembly for it to become law. We're not talking about cannabis for medical use here. This is about recreational use.
Shock.
It's about dacha, weed, pot, grass, boom. The stuff that many people smoke to relieve the misery of everyday life. Okay, okay.
There you have it.
If I need to be miserable, I'll take it. If the Canadian government passes the law, Canada will be the first G5 country to allow free use of the weed, legalizing an industry worth about $4.5 billion a year.
Oh.
And then they go on to give their opinion. They say, listen, I'm not saying I'm for weed, but what I'm saying is that if we're going to be cool about tobacco and booze, and if there's a chance that we could reduce crime by police actually now arresting the rapist in the driveway as opposed to the stoner next door, is that a bad thing?
Well, that's where the headline comes from. It would put a dent in crime statistics because there would be less criminals because we're only criminals because of the law. So if you change the law, there are no criminals. That's the only reason that they would get a dent is because there wouldn't be a crime because there isn't one now. We're just fucking labelled that way.
But do you think it'll be like this paradoxical thing? Do you think like if they stop arresting stoners, they'll make up the difference with other crimes, or do you think just in general it's going to stay the same, just less stoners being arrested?
I don't know. They're like it seems like why just prohibition is still a thing, and like people just can't snap out of the fact that it's like it so escalates whatever you're trying to prohibit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it creates way more criminals and like like misery than just being like a responsible person saying, "Okay, look, it's out there. If you want to use it, it's there. It's no biggie." Like I read this book called Chasing the Scream recently. It was fucking fascinating. And he cited a lot of case studies where, say in Liverpool, they had like a huge heroin problem. So they started introducing these heroin clinics where you could just go and get shot with good heroin for free. And they said like the people that went into their program were actually cured like after a while. They were just like, they did it a few times. Then they were like, okay, cool. I don't need to shoot up anymore.
Or maybe it's also a thing of, let's be real, I've met a few heroin users in my day, to this day, and they're not all dysfunctional. I've known very functional. It's just because you stick a needle in your arm, which I still think is a weird but brave thing.
Yeah, and I'm squeamish, bro. I can't do it.
It depends on how many times they do it a day, I guess. I mean, suppose there's that like lawyer that's like, okay, it's like that day of the month, I'm going to get fucked up, and then he just shoots, and then he has like a dope day, and then he leaves it till another month, you know what I'm saying?
Or maybe the line
is... exist, I don't know.
Maybe the line is when your friend starts stealing your teaspoons, then you don't get them in anymore.
No, they don't steal the teaspoons, they're just black.
The fucking light bulbs are all gone, then you know you're shit.
You're like, why couldn't you just be a responsible tech user?
Well, you think really,
light bulb somebody else.
This must be a problem for tech users that they've been phasing out old light bulbs.
LEDs now.
Because it's all LED, you can't do tech with the LED. So what now?
Now they're stealing the car lights.
Technology is helping.
Where they took the lights off the props truck of a movie on a production I was on in Cape Town.
Yeah.
The props truck, the 8-ton truck with all the art department shit in it, parked over out in Fishhook.
Oh,
Fishhook, the fucking Motherlode. There's no bottle store, so there's Lantic there. Everyone's fucking stressed out. And sure as shit in the morning, the reflectors had been unscrewed nicely because you can't smash it because you don't want the globes.
Inside,
so they unscrew everything and put it on the ground and took the globes. Now we've got to be in Musenberg at like fucking 5:30 in the morning, so the truck's got to leave at 3. It's still pitch black.
You have no flickers, nothing.
Nothing. It's taking all the globes off the truck.
So you think the tuck dealers now are like this side of the coat? Tuck?
And light
this side of the coat?
Light bulb. Hey, 90s. You want a 90s? You want a 1990s light bulb?
It pins.
You want a 60 watt?
Yeah.
60 watt, 50 watt.
60 watt, 50 watt. How can you have me in the street now? 50 watt.
I wonder if the value goes up as more time passes. It's like, this is a connoisseur's thing. I still got a light bulb.
True.
Well, this is a big
eBay
thing.
that shit.
Collect your bulbs.
we can go there kind of organic now because of what I do a lot of buying, from China and the States and all that. And I've noticed that a lot of the people who do sell bongs, because they don't know, they just sell the things, sell tip pipes. So you can now buy heavy tip pipes if you want to spend $200.
Because they don't know what to do with them.
Well, no,
they don't know what they are. They just
don't
copying.
know what they are.
They're just copying shit. Yeah.
So what it comes up now is like wedding gifts, the perfect gift for your wedding guest, and it's all these pink tip pipes.
Nice. Like you just rock up at a wedding and you sit down and there's your name, Fred, and
with
then
your gift, a fucking tip.
Fucking lolly.
A wedding,
a lolly in a straw.
What they do, instead of you getting those pink and white peanut coated things, you get little pink and white rocks.
So it's like normalizing it literally on the internet. But if you go to England, I think like any of these smoke head shops anywhere, they smell. Sorry, in England they sell pipes with a little box you open up. It's got a little snorting pipe with a mirror and a blade and a fucking scoop and a cup.
Really? Like
it's
all
a
the
kit
drug
that's sold in a
paraphernalia.
store. Now, if it's a drug that is nowhere in the world is illegal. Nowhere in the world is it accepted at all. But yet it is sold in a store. How does that work?
Yeah.
How does that work? Because these tip pipes are made by crackheads. They're taking light bulbs or they're blowing in themselves. Yeah. You don't buy that off a storefront.
I think cocaine is big in London, eh?
It's huge. This thing. Watch Gordon and Coke. Watch that thing. It's absolutely mind blowing.
Yeah, look, Myrtle comes from the commercial cooking industry, and there's more alcoholism and fucking DTs and stuff in the kitchen. There's more babalas in the kitchen than anyone can cook.
A headline I read on I saw the other day. Some chef said he actually has a day of the month every month where he allows the staff to come and hire. They can come to work and they can be as high as they get and want, but it's one day.
It's called payday weekend.
One day. At work. Pull a shift.
No, I imagine, dude. But it's a lot of stress, eh?
What was the original article? What did we start on?
So the article was this opinion piece, and then she goes on. She goes on, or he. I'm not sure if it's a he or she. to say as well that, there's an economic benefit in that, but she's saying, wouldn't it be nice, like, if you wanted to buy your weed, get it from the spa? Or from the hipster next door, whatever.
It will in the end, but it's quite a long generation away getting it out the spa. We've been arguing all along about legalise this shit, and the cops and everybody else can get on with something else and protect and serve, and you can fix potholes with the revenue. But in Canada, they've allocated another 40 million Canadian dollars a year to the police force to police legalisation. It's gone the other way. I know these fucking fascist nutcases.
Canada's very intense. Canada is very weird.
True story. Quote me, 40 million or 14 million, and I think it's provincial. It's in a certain province. That they can, the provinces can do anything they want in the federation. So at this point, you can drive from BC to Quebec, and by the time you arrive, you're more of a felon than you were when you left, because you got a fucking more than you could have left BC with.
Yeah, you got to smoke it all before you get there. So like on the road, you got to smoke as much as you can, so you're within the limit.
Or do you think there's an oak standing there collecting everyone's weed as they go over the border?
Wow. Like he's standing on the side saying, like he's got 10 mates or 3 mates in a row saying, pull over and let go of your weed. It's your last chance. I'm here now. And there's a guy standing with a big bucket.
The last stop HotBox, eh?
You know what? To put it into perspective, you know what's going to happen in 2 weeks' time in one of the G7 nations? They're going to say fuck you to the United Nations conventions, and they're going to legalise weed. No medicine, no recreation, just weed. Fuck, can you imagine that?
Wow.
Shops, retail, very much controlled. The activists are up in arms, but the bottom line is the guy who wants an ounce of weed for his month's supply hasn't got a monkey on his back for the rest of his fucking life.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Jesus, let's go. Let's do a fucking live HotBox from the top of the tower in Toronto.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, Oaks.
Come
Patreon.
sell stickers, bro. Sell stickers. Come on.
We'll post it to you. So let's get on to our next story of the week. Are you guys familiar with Wish?
Yes, I had such a bad experience with them.
That's what I'm getting to. So, for you Oaks at home who aren't familiar with Wish, it's kind of like the new eBay in a way, but more minimal.
Yeah.
So you get stuff at a bargain price, and maybe it gets delivered.
Yeah.
Maybe it doesn't.
Is that a maybe because of South Africa or a maybe because of Wish?
I think a maybe because of South Africa.
So is that directly related to your bad experience?
Yeah, because they use the South African Postal Service.
Yeah, right. Well, that's the fucking Achilles heel of everybody now. It's melted down. It's like a robber's paradise.
Yeah, I know it's a swing and a miss, but that's also part of the thrill, if you'll get it or not.
Yeah.
I personally, like a few months ago,
the extreme shopping.
Let's see, how long ago? Like a little while ago, dropped a couple $100 on Wish, and I was like, firstly, am I going to get the stuff? And two, it's a big deal with Wish. Is it going to be what it says it is and look like it is?
Yeah.
So of all the things we ordered, in the end, it took months. I got everything.
Nice.
Yeah, my squeeze ordered some extra large tights. Yeah, the Oaks, you couldn't put a fetus in these tights, eh? So that was the one fuck up. But we got everything in the end.
Okay, we got the visuals of that? Okay, that's got to be a thumbs down from somebody somewhere.
So what's happening? So Wish now, you can buy weed seeds on Wish for like 14 Rand each,
But
10 Rand
how
each,
can
just
that-
pay shipping.
What?
Cool.
Yeah. Literally, I'm looking at
So
Wish.
is
and
Wish in China?
pretty much.
It seems like it, yeah.
Pretty
So
much.
I heard that Wish can see what you're doing, and if you're around doing some shopping and stuff on literally Facebook on a feed that it knows who you are, and it starts feeding you Wish stuff.
Everything does that already.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah,
ad does that.
but is that what?
That'd be quite cool if you saw like on your Facebook feed, hey, buy these weed seeds.
That's
Well,
my Facebook feed.
But my understanding is Wish pushes that to you because it saw you looking for weed seeds.
Yeah, but everything, eBay does that, everything does that now.
Okay.
But Wish is clever like that.
Fucking
But it was
hell.
so funny seeing all these weed seeds because they're doing the traditional thing that a lot of these Chinese sellers do on eBay and Wish, is that the pictures they're using are clearly not theirs. They have gone click, 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 click,
Yeah, of
click.
course.
1080 purple. Check the weed. Show Fred the fucking weed they're selling for
Wow.
14 Rand a seed or 14 Rand for a
Jeez,
million
man.
seeds.
Yeah, that looks like way too good to just be.
That's not a. Yeah, that's something everybody wishes for.
Yeah, that's what
That's maybe why this company's called Wish. That's all it
a
is.
wish.
That's all it is.
It's a
Don't
wish.
you wish you were buying this?
There we go. They call the company Wish because they're like, we're going to funny these people.
So, what's getting me though is that I thought, I'm going to do the classic thing that a lot of vloggers do. They go look at the reviews and read the best negative reviews because they cuck funny sometimes. But there's no negative reviews. Like some of these things are saying 1,000 people bought this product, 100 people bought this product, 1,000 people bought this
That's
product.
like bought likes though.
No, bought this product.
Sure.
Bought this product, and you go, and there's like 50 reviews on a product, and they're all good.
Really?
Which I can't
Yeah,
believe.
no,
One Oak
it's-
is like this wasn't what
It's
I
a bot,
expected,
man.
but I don't know.
It's a bot.
So,
So let's order
Very
it.
aggressive.
How about we
huh?
do this? We order it.
We
How
should
much
do
are they?
yeah, let's order
14
some.
rand.
So
plus
let's order
5
10
let's
seeds.
fucking order
Let's
them
order
then.
10 seeds,
Okay.
and we'll see. We'll take a. We'll keep that photo. We'll grow it, and we'll show
A
them what
year
we did.
from now.
Don't worry, the
Good idea.
HotBox is going for the rest of your life.
Okay, so anniversary from today, I'm gonna order some seeds. If I'm not on the show because I got bust, you know why.
Kamikaze says, I ordered seeds from Seedsman, 6 days from UK to Joburg. I phoned the guy at the Joburg mail centre, and he says it'll take 12 weeks, but if I pay an official, she will search for my packet. Well, in Goodwood, we know it's compromised. Down in Cape Town, the equivalent to Joburg Bitpost. I don't think Bitpost is specifically searching for seed, but Goodwood is searching for Dutch postcodes and like DVD cases and fucking stuff that nobody ever posts
We always
anymore.
hear that Cape Town, they always say.
I
They're
always thought it was some dude that was working in the postal service that knew.
Seedsmen are great at sending seeds. They do it stealth. You pay another £6 or something, and they do a stealth thing, and they poke it down into bits of Lego and all sorts of shit. I remember getting some from
And you
Seedsman.
look.
You look in the packet and they go, fuck, they forgot to put the seeds in. And they've been pushed into the very tips of the Lego bricks
How
as
the
the
fuck to get
samples.
it out
It
of
takes you
there?
like weeks to crack the case, like the riddle of where it is. Yeah.
Stealth mode.
Right.
So Seedsman, yeah, but SA Post Office fucked up. So I haven't got an answer for that. I am. We're blessed that we just get seed from folk as travellers and activists and stuff. But it is hair-raising stuff. Spending a couple of grand on getting some seeds into this country. UK, I reckon, is the best. But if you can get it to a family member that can stick a courier on it and
Yeah,
just
courier's the
pay
best.
it, because
Courier.
you're buying a seed for a 50 grand plant.
So you like a
Fucking pay
private
the money.
courier
Don't,
company won't even mess with it, yeah?
Yeah, but you
What,
gotta
sorry?
worry like
A private
DHLs
courier
and
company won't mess with it.
No, well, the
like-
thing is, your chances of it getting to you is, you like Jules saying,
High,
you're
yeah,
paying
yeah.
something that's going to give you something that's so worth it. Put that money into
Yeah,
it.
dude.
yeah, no, if you're going to pay $1,500 for DHL, because that's what it'll be, and you've already paid a couple of grand for seed, but if you pay the $1,500, it's going to arrive at your door, and it's going to be in your granny's CD case of Happy Birthday to You, whatever the fuck it is,
Yeah.
arbitrarily packed.
Yeah.
But it will get to you, and you pay the price, and then all of a sudden, fucking hell, what's that, 10 grams? No. Yeah, 10 grams, 150
10
bucks.
out of a plant.
10 grams in the end, when it's harvest time, and you surround it by a fucking clip, and you're up to your tits in it, it pales into insignificance.
There we go.
yeah, but I think
Don't
also
I agree with you
the
there.
problem is that we're too spoiled for choice now. I find like if I go to Attitude, which I still feel is the best online seed bank,
Yeah, no, I've heard
the
loads of it.
biggest selection. The problem is it's the biggest selection. You end up wanting to fucking keep them all because I'm one of those idiots that when I see a seed, I don't see the seed, I see what it can be.
Yeah.
And you end up hoarding the fucking things, and then you send it to stealth packaging, and because you're OCD collector, you don't get the original packaging, which is also part of the experience with seeds.
Well, that's what it says, isn't it? Souvenir only. It's for heirloom people who want to save the genetic.
Yeah,
But
it's
nobody
a
ever
great-
puts that shit in the dark in the freezer. They leave it in the packet and hide it on the shelf to show their buddies that, look, I've got a Buddha seed thing and it's on its belly and there's a couple of seeds in. The packaging of seeds is out there, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's amazing, the packaging of this seed. It's like the fucking Holy Grail.
it's a thing
They
of its
put big
own.
money into it because the money that you pay for those seeds.
Because you've got to
It's-
catch the lighties. Something's got to flick your switch, and it might be the cartoon kapow one.
Yeah,
Or
or
the
the packaging,
tin,
or
or
the tin,
the-
exactly, or the write-up, or the pictures,
Yeah,
or the...
Sounds like a-
Humboldt's little bamboo things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Humboldt's little.
Yeah, those are the
slidey thing.
worst though. They cuck, man. I hate Humboldt seed packaging, man. You can't get the seeds out.
Oh,
It's
another
like,
thumbs
it's like
down
they
from the
put
North
more effort
Americans.
into the packaging than
We
the
didn't mean it,
seeds.
Humboldt. We didn't mean it. He doesn't mean this shit. He doesn't.
It's one of those things that it's
Send
nice
some
from
more-
far. You see it, ooh, and you get to it, and you want to get the seed out, and you're like, no, far from nice.
They're great seeds once you're in.
I see Fred's trying to say something there. Or have you lost?
Not really. I actually don't know anything about like seed buying. I would never go that deep. So, but it sounds like almost like a wine connoisseur conversation.
Exactly.
If you is there like a big market for seed selling?
The wild.
Maybe the
It's
couch ninjas
let
could
me-
sell
the
some seeds. You know what I'm
the
saying?
biggest one of all, mate.
The seed market
The
is
money,
huge.
that's where the money
Is
is.
it?
That's it.
Yeah.
And there's
Is
so
it?
much diversity. You can have. There can be so many of you selling seed. It's not like it can just be the one and they're the only people, because there's so many different places that if
Maybe
you're
we
gonna
should like
either
have like a
import
Bitcoin
from,
of seeds.
or you
Bitcoin.
breed. If you breed, that's the top game.
Bitseed.
That's what we all want, is for people to start breeding in the country.
'Cause if we think
Breed
about it-
locally, come on.
How are you going to achieve that if everybody does it? Because it's going to be haywire.
Yeah, because I'm thinking
Because
like, isn't the market flooded?
cross-pollinate.
No.
No,
Process
it's
crop what? Sorry.
The market for seeds, isn't it like flooded? Isn't every guy like going, hey, I got these?
Well, the thing is, yes, they are, but are they bringing quality?
Yeah.
Are they
okay.
bringing things that are credible, that is actually giving out good product, or that is
Yeah.
what the rest of the world is, or is it just some?
It takes
something-
6
Some like
months to
hustler,
find that
like,
out.
Yeah.
It's you know what I mean. You've got to bring in things, or you've got to
Yeah.
have something
Interesting.
unique.
Yeah, for real.
That
I just
is,
had no idea it was such a.
That's that cheese.
fuck, it's
so
tasty.
lucrative.
Yeah, very tasty.
Yeah, if I keep, for me it's a mindfuck, because if you think about it, technically, seeds are more expensive than weed per gram by like 10 or 20
Wow,
times.
that's
Because how much you pay
crazy.
for
Yeah.
a good seed? $600 for
Wow.
like a BMW grade pip, eh?
Amsterdam's €15 for a
15.
big one, for a lekker one.
For one pip. One
Seven,
thin pip.
7 to 15.
Okay, so let's call it
Eight.
$200 for a pip.
It's 150.
That's
yeah,
what you
around-
pay for a gram of good weed.
Yeah, that's
that
right.
pip weighs
But then again,
0.001 of a gram.
Because there's like, how many, 20, 30 pips in a gram then?
There's
I don't even know.
52,000 in a kilo. But don't ask me why I
So
know.
that's 52 in a gram.
There you go.
So yeah, so it's 50 times the value of weed.
There you have it.
seeds.
But it's the same. You remember we had the conversation about testing? It's the same price to have a test done of a run, and the run is worth hundreds of thousands of BHO or whatever it is. Just get it tested and fucking cuck and batal, and then you know.
Then you know.
Yeah.
You've got
It's just
credibility
like
on that whole entire batch.
Invest in the whole thing, and then you know for yourself.
Yeah, because people want to know. But I think we'll pick up this wish discussion
Yeah.
in a year.
So hang on.
Well, we're gonna do this
How
now.
old is
We're
that?
gonna-
How old's that picture?
It's now. I can go buy them now. Done.
Get
do
the
it.
fuck out of here.
Yeah,
Let's
go
do
buy
that.
some.
See
Yeah.
what
Saying, let's
happens.
buy 10
How did they
seeds,
get
yeah.
him here with
Doesn't
like
matter.
Can you do
Dawn
it? Can we do
Wynn?
it now live on air?
Let's have a look.
Yeah,
What?
I can do it live on
Yeah,
air,
let's
probably.
do it on air.
Okay, let
Yeah.
go and buy it. Yeah, see if we can
all
put
about live
cool.
now.
Well, Dan places that order live for 50,000 mystery Asian pips, which they say are hemp but aren't hemp.
Yeah, they aren't hemp and they're third gen and nobody has a
knows?
fucking clue what they are because they were just swept off the floor of the kraal.
But who knows? Maybe it's
Maybe.
amazing.
The cure for cancer's in there somewhere, mate.
Oh, dude. Well, now let's get into medical. Our next topic of the week. This is titled British sees CBD from 12-year-old epilepsy patient at Heathrow Airport. So this story's sort of been building up to this climax for a while now. I've noticed the story going on in the UK. And I'll just give you the blurb. A brief standoff between a 12-year-old medical marijuana patient and the United Kingdom government. You know, they say standoff like Mexican standoff with guns. Right? United Kingdom government ended Monday with law enforcement officials seizing cannabis oil smuggled openly from Canada, where the drug is legal, from the
Smuggled.
parent of the epileptic child at Heathrow Airport in London. 12-year-old Billy Caldwell, a native of County Tyrone in Northern Ireland, at one point suffered as many as 100 severe epileptic seizures a day.
Jeez.
I don't live in a world where I've got an epileptic in my life, but is 100 a real number? Can that
What,
happen?
100 a day?
100 seizures
Yeah.
a day.
Yeah, I think with some
But
of
that's
these.
a lot. In your wake, that 12 hours you're awake.
It must happen when you're
Seizures.
asleep too.
No, in a day, 24 hours.
It's every 6 minutes or something.
Yeah, that's happened.
How could you...
Or 3 in a minute. I don't know.
Man,
So
that's
anyway,
a hell of a thing for a mother, eh? To watch this... Fuck.
So they
Anyway.
say, following successful cannabis-based treatments in the United States, he made history last year when he became the first patient in the UK's National Health Service to receive a prescription for a cannabis plant-based medicine. He later went 250 days without a seizure, according to his mother, Charlotte Caldwell. Before officials with the Home Office, the UK's law enforcement wing that enforces drug control laws, informed the boy's doctor to cease issuing the medicine under penalty of disbarment. Charlotte Caldwell then travelled to Canada to buy a small bottle of CBD oil, the stuff we're seeing at the Skim kind of vibe,
Yeah.
and publicly announced her plans to declare the drugs as customs upon her return to the UK. Upon her arrival, authorities confiscated the medicine. So basically, to give you the spiel, she had said before, listen here,
I'm coming over.
I am coming, I am bringing the medicine. Make a plan. I am bringing this
I actually
medicine.
saw
My
this-
doctor's given me a script.
I saw this story on Facebook, people were talking about it. Someone put, actually, was it Alexander? I think he put a thing about it and said,
Yeah.
this is what's happening. And then there was comments saying, well, obviously this chick's going to be locked up. This was just before she did it. And now, so there's the outcome. She got
Well,
straight up.
the outcome, the outcome I see is it's got into every newspaper. It's everywhere,
I think that was
and
also
it's
intentional.
brilliant. And
Yeah.
that was intentional. That the mother had nothing to lose by doing this. But we're talking about CBD here. How fucked up is the UK government all of a sudden? It's like
They're
they've gone
really
fucking
against it. I get the impression that Britain is like way more
terrible,
about
dude.
the-
It's getting hectic.
Yeah.
Theresa May was raised in a convent school, a girls-only school, as a convent till she was 18. Now you know why. She's
Yeah.
morally judged everybody like us in this room
Yeah.
for all her fucking life, and it
Yeah.
shows in the policy.
Crazy.
So now the chick with you just saw it on the screen now. How could you possibly wind up the medicine, take whatever works away because it's an iffy area in the law? I think it's fucked up.
And it's for a child.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's for a kid that's not
Kids'
even using it.
health,
It's
yeah.
watch this. The pack of cards are going to start crumbling on this one.
Well, it's a PR nightmare. I think that was always going to be the conclusion. I think from a PR perspective, this is the best thing that could have happened, is them taking
Yeah.
it and all that.
Totally.
But what's funny is, I think, and you can correct me at home or here if I'm wrong, in the UK, if you're a tourist coming from like Holland and you have medical marijuana, and a medical marijuana card and a prescription, you can bring that product with you into the UK. So foreign nationals are allowed to
Yeah.
bring product in with them and take it out.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah.
And
I
the
think-
spouses of the members of parliament who have the grow operations in Babbling Brooks in Surrey
Yeah.
don't actually give a fuck about the epilepsy and anything else. It's an absolute shambles in the UK at the moment. I have a British passport, but god damn it, it's fucked up my hometown. She's really making a mess of things. It's an absolute turmoil.
But could you imagine, like for me, really, that number, and I know we just said it, but it just keeps tinging my bell. 100 seizures a day.
Yeah, I know.
Crazy, yeah.
Is this is a reality? Because I've become pretty thick-skinned. We deal with so many queries and that I've become almost immune. It's like you become immune to the smell of KFC if you work at KFC, and immune to the taste. But it's the same psychological thing for me. But when I read that 100 seizures, it's could you live with that? What would you be prepared to do if your lighty was going through 100 seizures a day? I'd probably fucking shoot Oaks, dude.
You would do anything.
I'd go John Wick,
I promise
dude.
you.
Imagine if Eli was every 6 minutes,
You-
his tongue was going to fall in the back of
I
his
would do
mouth.
anything. I
You,
would
you,
do
you wouldn't do
anything.
anything but.
Anything.
You wouldn't have another life. You'd be
course.
doing that every
Of
6
course.
minutes.
That would be my life. I would have
Fucking
nothing else.
hell.
And my child was like, that was what your life
Yeah,
would
that's
be.
what you...
No matter what. And a parent doesn't do that if they're very selfish.
Yeah.
You have to do the right thing for
You know
your
what?
child. If they can't do it for themselves, you have to. It's your obligation to do it.
You know what GW Pharma should do at this point? Is step up to the plate and say, here, have it for free. Here we are, here's a PR number that nobody...
Fuck, that would.
But they can't.
The world is so
They can't.
defined that you can't. And imagine they do that, and then the kid has 200 seizures a day and dies. And then she sues him, and that was always the game plan.
Oh, that was
But
quick
don't
off
they try
the-
that with like Western medicine now, pharmaceuticals?
That was
They
a
do,
classic.
and they just cover it up.
Yeah, but they're getting... GW is getting more and more out in the open. They're scary fuckers. They got so much immunity now. You know GW Pharma, they make a thing called Sativex. And
One of the biggest
Sativex
pharmaceutical companies.
is medicine made from the whole cannabis plant as an extract.
Wow.
And it's in Surrey somewhere, and
But it was
it's highly
synthesized,
connected,
basically, yeah.
and the government know about it, and they export more than any other country in the world.
Wow.
But things like this happen at airports with mothers and kids and CBD. But GW Pharma
Gosh.
export more
From the
fucking
country.
weed
Yeah.
with THC in it
Yeah, yeah.
than any other country in the world.
Because they're
So
farmer, yeah.
this is the double standard story that we're on
Yeah.
about in the UK. It's a fucking
White poor
shambles.
capitalism.
Bastardo!
Yeah.
Do you work for Bob Pottinger there with the white capitalism, mate? No. Let's check this out. So before we get on to the next story, I'm just going to close with the comment that the British Home Office made to The Guardian when they asked him about it. So a spokesperson from the Home...
Spokesperson.
A what's it, a piphole? A spokesperson. A spokesperson from the Home Office told The Guardian that while it's sympathetic to the difficult and rare situation that Billy and his family are faced with, Border Force, that's the name of their thing, their border patrol. It's called Border Force, like G.I. Joe's. Border Force. Has a duty to stop banned substances from entering the UK. So they're not willing to make a compromise. But also, you know, how many people are in a situation where they can afford to take their kid for 250 days to Colorado or Canada?
I think there's
wherever?
a backstory to that as well. I don't think she has got much. I think it's all, there's a big Facebook page surrounding all of this, and she does like what we do. We just do activism and shit, and it comes our way in the end. She probably just goes around asking for money a lot now because we'll see what materialises. It's really going to bite her ass, Theresa May and the Home Office doing this. This is a serious humanitarian fucking thing, and if the Daily Mail is saying not a fuck, then the Daily Mail never say that. So it's been in the Daily Mail, and they said this is a shambles.
No, it is a bit fucked up. That
It is a bit
12-year-old
fucked up.
kid is like the Corsi Johnson of weed now, which is like not cool.
Are there any people in your direct circle that are taking oil and stuff for?
No, not for anything medically related.
Okay.
I mean, I'm pretty like, I'd say I'm quite a lightweight stoner actually. So, but luckily there aren't too many people that have any health related things that require cannabis.
Do you use cannabis to compose?
You know what? I actually I'd like doing more visual stuff. If I smoke weed, I'm less like.
Oh, that's your background, isn't it?
Yeah, I do
that's
design.
right.
I did web design, and so I do quite a lot of graphics. But music, I find a little bit harder to nail. To be honest, like if I smoke weed, I get a little bit confused. Because I play bass and I sing, so sometimes I do multitasking. Then you have to remember the words as well.
It's a bit more than a check.
Okay, know your limitations.
Yeah.
I see.
But it's nice. Like it's nice to actually nail a song if you hire, and then you're like, okay,
Extra rewarding,
exactly. Yeah.
Challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted. That's what you do to yourself sometimes. Though. You smoke in the most inappropriate places just to see if you can get through it. Right, let's have a quickie before I go in the bank. And then there's a really hard question, and it's like the blood drains out your face.
Well, then, can I see your feet? Terrible. Should we say hi to anyone on there before we get to the...
Warren had a thing. Hello, Warren Brew. I can't say what he actually said.
Okay.
No, fuck. Oh, Christ, I got tears in my eyes. Hold on. Let me see this. You see this live feed here? There's there's a whole bunch of people on the feed doing stuff. Warren said something about some sort of seed. Wait a minute.
He's saying Holy Smokes. Holy Smokes is a local seed breeder.
Holy Smokes. Okay.
The seeds are available
Holy
locally.
Smokes? In Eastern Cape.
No, well, he's from UK. Holy Smokes seeds he's based in the UK.
Oh, I see.
But he's Durban based. The guy.
Oh, Michael Oosthuizen. He's in
Durban.
Hello, Michael Oosthuizen. Hi, Trophy Seeds.
Shout outs to local oaks. Let's hear it. I'm a Deadly, Aosh. Check those out.
And CBD.
Pachamama, mixed things. Holy Smoker, good things.
Pachamama, they in Durban, maybe.
I don't know.
Not sure. I'm running out of RAM figuring it out. It's amazing how it's actually proliferating.
The only local breeders that are known is Amadeli, that I know.
Really? I'm a Deadly. Cool name.
Wasn't there
Cool
Chronic
name,
Monkey?
Is that right?
What about Chronic Monkey?
They're
Didn't
the
they
only-
exist once upon a time?
Chronic
Chronic
Monkey?
Monkey? That was once upon a time.
I just know that I give props to Amadeli. The only dudes that are actually breeding to make their line grow and actively doing it, which I give them props for, you know.
Arno's the dude with the guest house on the Lesotho border. We got your range and bearing brew. We're gonna.
We're hitting.
No, don't worry. We're figuring something out. Stand by. He's smoking Holy Smoked strawberry banana now.
Nice.
Fuck! Imagine the smell of that in the lower Malutis, bro.
I see everything's about the banana.
Yeah, beautiful. So what's it like there in Lesotho now? Are people just busting now? Like
That's 5 episodes ago, because now we're going on to Rate My Grow.
No, but what?
I'm just curious, like, because
it's like the same as here.
Oh, is it like so? You can't. There aren't just like massive people like opening.
There's been 9 licenses that we know of at the moment, and I saw an aerial shot this week of one of them.
Oh, yeah.
And fuck me, I'm looking. fucking hell. I saw the size of the digger from the drone, and then you see how much they've carved up, because they can't do this shit in Lesotho unless the ground's flat. And the cows need fucking flat ground. Fuck me, I couldn't believe the size of the excavation. When I zeroed in on the actual scale of this, it's like fucking football pitches.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, you must just remember that they're not just doing it for a local market. There's no local market that could
You
ever
can't,
take
nobody
that.
can have it, it's illegal.
No one can take it exactly. It's illegal.
Nobody's allowed to smoke.
So people can't be smoking weed on the streets in Lesotho. That's nice.
No, this is for the people with the licenses,
okay.
with the chain wire fences around them.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So it's not even like relaxed, the whole stoner culture there.
It's a lot more
It's about the
relaxed than
same
here.
as
Okay, that's
It's
alright.
it's more relaxed than here.
Okay.
I got a photograph from Ras Moketsi.
Yeah. Oh.
We sent seed, remember? We sent some seed to the Lesotho lot for say thanks. He's got this picture of all of these little
nice.
beakers, little plastic cups, white cups for drinking water, with sand in, fucking rows of them. Ding, 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 ding.
This is already.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lesotho
He
waste
said-
no time.
He said, my winter project.
No,
Cool to
much
see,
love.
yeah, spread the love, fuck, take it away.
Yeah, Lesotho's going through its own growing pains and that. But let's get on to Rate My Grow. So
Rate
we pass
My
my
Grow.
phone around for this one. Dan, I think you're going to have to drive it and see what comments you can give us about what's going on. And maybe we'll get some shouted commentary from the back room about what the deal is with this grow.
Online, we're waiting for it to come up on the screen. It's almost there.
Ah,
There it is. Okay, so we got the first photo.
And let it roll. Let's check. Did you
Shit.
show it off? You
So what we
try
got
it,
here?
dude.
We got some really nice looking plants.
Well, it looks like LED vibes, eh?
Yeah, this guy's
This
running
is some
LEDs.
local grow. Some fan who sent us his pics and he was like, what do you oaks think?
Yes, it's
Ah.
actually, if you look closely on these, this like
As a
like,
total amateur, I think it's shocking. As a total. But I mean, yeah.
We're going to have to
Is
give...
it, is it
So
just
it
the
looks
one
like it's
pick?
a
Is it
wooden
just the one
box.
pick, or do they have a bunch? Do they have some close
Yeah,
ups?
look,
check
check
it
it
out.
out.
Oh, I
I
see.
think there's
that.
even some
So they get
video.
a bigger shot there. So
Okay,
there's a,
nice,
it's like a
yeah.
wooden box with LEDs, 2 LEDs, some mylar on the
That
sides.
looks cool.
Is that what an LED grow light looks like? And now all
Well,
of
that's
those,
one of them.
all
There's
those
many of
fins. They see the fins in the back,
Yes.
the metal fins.
Yes.
Are there fans in there?
No, that's just vents. So that the chips can breathe.
Has
the
anyone-
unit has to be able to breathe. There are sometimes
So,
are fans inside there to cool. Yes.
There's no heat coming from
Oh,
these
no,
lights.
there's
There
not a
is.
lot though, but there has to
I've
be
never
cool.
seen big LED setups like
okay.
this.
There's some close ups. That's nice. Oh, you get some scale with the hand in there.
There's some, I mean,
Bit leafy though. No.
no, it's a good growth. These
Is it
leaves,
not, eh?
these plants
Oh,
are
okay.
looking really good. They must be like week.
Aren't they like
Four.
crushed together a bit?
This is like week 4.
That's a sea of green, that term.
It's a
Or
cool
screen of
grow
green.
room.
When you grow them tight like that.
Then he's also got a
Does anyone
cool
ever
tube,
pimp their grow
a cool
room?
tube with a 6
Ooh,
rooms,
they
6
have a
7
grow
watt.
room, but like it's also a pool thing, and
And a
then there's like a
deep water culture.
jacuzzi.
This guy's running.
Right, okay.
No, you can't have bugs
Little
and
fuck up
carrion
your
and
grow.
shit.
Oh,
And
okay.
people
Fuck up your
putting
grow.
their stompies out in the fucking.
Turn the grow room into a club.
Breaking branches for
Another thing.
pews.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
No, it wouldn't last 5 minutes, but nice thought.
Okay.
Maybe we should, just out of sheer decadence, hedonism, just
Pimp
have
your
a,
grow room project. Yeah.
maybe we should get some plants growing in here. What do you think?
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
do-
Fire
let's do-
high
let's do a-
pressure.
Let's do a, yeah, small, like a shelf grow.
Yeah, you do like
A
project
micro
and
grow,
what's
dude,
it-
and an auto.
Micro
grow.
And a tube.
Shelf.
Hey, no joke, there's actually
Yeah, look
online,
at that.
Make
Look
the
at
whole
that.
shelf
there's the
apart.
Sono Cup challenge happening in South
It's
Africa.
like a forest.
Put it over
I
there.
think you could do like whole animations with that. Like.
Oaks thinks I'm MacGyvering on its own organically.
Well, I
But let's
hadn't
look
seen-
at this grow. What do you guys think about this grow? We need to get scorecards out. I think that'll add fun and appeal to this.
Yeah.
But let's go around the table. Out of 10. That's
I
what it
got-
comes down to.
I'm like 9,
9. Okay.
but I'm a total amateur, so like don't let that.
I have a question about the wood.
Yeah, that's the big no-no.
Where's the wood?
The wooden wall. The wood's all around the
Oh,
chip.
the entire
There's-
thing is wood.
There's a whole bunch of those
The walls are made out of
shutter
wood.
boards.
Yeah.
So I got told that they've got ho-hos and they breed pup and they make, they get a bit mouldy
Mold
and
is the biggest problem.
stuff. So I don't know, maybe it's just circumstances. But as far as the plants go, they're as happy as fuck.
Yeah, they're good. You know
No,
what the
no,
thing is,
they-
if you manage the environment right, and if you seal the wood properly, and then you make sure that you clean the room out after every harvest, and you've got a dehumidifier, and you've got certain airflow, and
it
you've
also
got
looks like
cooling,
there's
and you've got heating.
It looks like there's a
You
high
can manage
pressure in
it.
there, dude. A cool tube, I think.
No, there's
dude.
two. There's
Shit.
the room split in half. There's a high
Okay.
pressure on the one side, and then there's
LEDs.
LEDs on the
Why
other
do you
side.
think that is? Just for an experiment?
Yeah, he must be testing the thing out, or he just is trying to see what works better, which is a
Do
good
you
idea.
understand anything that's going
Oh,
on?
this is so like hijacking me. I'm like, wow.
That's the HotBox. You see, the HotBox is so fucking intellectual, brew at times. We
No, I
just
like
do
it.
our own
But
heads in.
It's
whoever
cool,
this
yeah.
guy is, you need to seal your wood, man.
That's it. Cool. So let's go around the room. What scores we going to give him? Jules?
I think they're sexy, and I think they look really, really happy. I'm going with Fred. There's a 9 going on there. I think they really top draw. I wish I could do scratch and sniff on this one. Fucking...
I'm going to take Dad's approach and look at the whole grow holistically, not just the plants. I'm going to say 8. An 8. Dad's probably going to give it a fucking 2.
Oh, he's hard,
it's-
man. He's hard,
No,
man.
no. This is a good grow. I looked at he's also got a good feed there. You didn't see he's running a deep water culture. It looks like it's a recirculating deep water culture, if I'm not mistaken, which is really good. So yeah, I'm giving him a 9. He's
Okay.
got to change that wood.
Got to change that.
Change that wood, man, and you've got some good plants. And
What do you
some-
change it to? Can you just put... I mean,
Well, what is it in? Is it in a garage? If it's in a garage, concrete bricks work the best. Paint the walls.
why would the
seal
wood
it.
be
Or
there?
seal
though?
it.
Why would the wood be there? What would be on the other side of it?
It's in a
Why would-
garage, or it's in a room, or it's in a
Is
building.
it for heat?
No, he's just boxing it.
Just boxing
Okay.
it.
Cool.
But yeah,
Okay.
Okay, so high score all round. But we're
Yeah.
running out of time, so I'm going to squeeze all these topics in real time.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
go
we're
plop, plop,
good.
plop with them. Next story. This is the one thing missing from the grow that we just saw. We yet to see someone show us their grow or local bus with the scenario.
Martin says 7.5. Okay.
7.5.
7.5, Martin. You're a hard man, bro.
Not 7.10. So this story was in the Bristol Live. Man found locked inside cannabis factory being treated as a modern slavery victim.
Jeez.
Police said that they are treating a man as a possible victim of modern slavery after they found him locked inside a cannabis factory with instructions to grow the plants. The 25-year-old foreign national was initially arrested by police. He butts at the factory in an industrial unit in blah blah blah. The man, who police have not identified or will say which country he was from, was arrested on suspicion of being concerned in the production of a controlled drug. So basically, yeah, nice big fucking serious grow.
Is that the grow on the screen there
is that the
now?
grow? Are there any other photos?
Is this like, did he say
Oh,
what
you
the-
know what?
Wow.
This is the typical thing they do in England. They lock
Right.
the
It's
tie up.
mostly fucking
Tie
Vietnamese and
kids,
stuff,
Vietnamese
yeah.
kids, they
yeah.
lock them inside a house. And they literally lock them inside with like a pile of tin of food and a sleeping blanket that they sleep in a passageway. And they're told to make these plants, and that is all they do.
Hectic.
It is quite hectic. They slave them, literally slave them in England. It's
Do you think
bad.
this oak was maybe been in this house since he was a kid?
They
Because
could
this
do
is the
that.
first time I've heard of an adult. And I
Wow.
don't think they
That's
usually
dark,
catch
man.
adults in the wild. They usually catch kids. So maybe
Yeah.
this oak just was the worst one at escaping.
Maybe, imagine the guy just being put in a jail the very next day. And he can't speak a word. See, he's never been anywhere else but there, and now he's in this
Yeah.
jail. He has no idea what's going
A
down.
whole lot of English.
What a
different-
chore. Again, England. Anyway, at least they realise that he's the victim, not the crime.
Yeah.
Oh.
He knows nothing. But again, prohibition, bro. It's fucked up stuff. It wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
It wouldn't.
Yeah.
It could. It just wouldn't need to happen.
It's like if you had chained someone up in a McDonald's and you're like, you're making burgers now, until, which I suppose they're kind of doing like with your paycheck anyway. But
Yeah, that's just corporate, like.
True story.
But wouldn't the ultimate irony now, I don't know if irony is the right word, be
If
that
they're like-
if he got hired because he's a master grower? I'd give that man a job.
he's like Kaiser Soze or something.
He's the oak who was really running it all. Yeah, but that is kind of weird. I hope we never see that locally. Maybe
Where was that reported? Was that
It was in the UK.
No, I mean anything like Guardian or something.
Bristol Post.
The Bristol, the Bristol Post, my lover.
Then there was another story this week, or I think it was actually a week or two ago, and it says it's a high time story. School nurses in Colorado can now administer medical cannabis. An impactful modification to a pre-existing law will enable more pediatric medical marijuana patients to get the medicine and education they need.
As long as it's not in the UK.
But they and it goes on to say it's a situation where it sounds like not just CBD, but even THC products. The kids like, oh, Aina, ooh, Aina, and they're like,
Just
come.
smoke this and sit down. Just smoke this and...
Yeah. And they say, little Johnny, what temperature do you like the e-nail on for your Aina?
Then they pull out the file and they have to check it there. Oh, so this is what temperature you have to smoke.
No, I like to
Would you like a Flintstones one, my boy?
Edibles, cookies.
Do you think it would be like that?
Dinosaur lollipops.
Yeah,
infused.
stuff here,
Because
guys.
how does the school not
You got the visual.
Like everyone kind of wants to medicate their kids, but they don't. Yeah.
Banana and skunk Nesquik.
No, do you think it's going to be it? Like herb and that? If the parent says, my
make
kid's
the kids
prescriptions,
it, yeah.
there's the herb, there's the kid's 30 grams of weed in the cupboard by
Yeah,
the
no,
nurse, and she must
pacifying.
roll the raw for him.
That's a pacifier of note, eh?
Yeah.
Well, I think
And
if
the
there
kid's
was
gotta go to
profit in
smoking
it, and
room.
drug companies could do it for profit, and some guy in the drug company was like, "Okay, we got this thing,"
Because
Yeah.
then it would
maybe
probably happen.
There wouldn't be a photograph of it on the pack.
Yeah,
maybe Rizzler and OCB and all that have been playing the long-term game plan, yeah? And then 300 years ago, they knew they'd have to make an adult-size paper, a king-size, and a child-size regular.
Yeah, the red Riz is for infants. To get little hands round.
But it is interesting that these things are now becoming relevant. That
Do you think the kid in the bunker there, the V's person, was it a kid?
no, he was 25 years old
25.
when they found him.
Fucking hell, 25. And he didn't like.
it'd be weird if he was like, "No, put me back in the factory, man." Society's fucked up.
I'll take the factory. Because it must be like shell shock when you leave a cult or something. You don't know what to do. You'd rather go back, like some fucked up sort of Stockholm syndrome.
It's kind
Yeah,
of
you
like,
become like
it's
a
kind of like
vampire.
Polesmore.
Yeah, he
Sounds
must
like
be
a
like a
fucking
vampire.
vampire.
Maybe he's a ginger. That's how he survived inside for so long.
That's another thumbs down. That's got to be another thumbs
Maybe I should give him a set of dungarees. Actually,
Yeah, his lips must be so raw from fucking rubbing against the plant. Because he even buy the slave clothes. Fuck that. He must make his own.
Shaking hemp shoes and like beating the stalks after he's trimmed it. I need to make myself something.
decorticating late into the night.
maybe the last thing he wants to see is another hemp plant. He's like,
You know, the oak must be so mugh of it. So, last story of the week. So, last week we did a thing about the 36% THC strain that was more a hash than a strain. And some oak went and he
Yeah,
tuned
it was-
us, listen, yeah, you oak need to pull up your fucking socks. Otherwise you're going to just sound like potheads talking cuck, which is what I thought we were. This is blowing off steam, but I thought we'd listen to the oak. Because he said now, wow, actually there is a strain that's 36%. It's a Mother of God, 100% indica. And honestly, the oak gave us a bit of shit, but that's cool. We listen to the people.
Yeah, no, we don't. We take the criticism and see what we did right or wrong.
Yeah, but also what was so weird is that there's nothing about the strain. So he was do more homework. So then I went down and did homework because he didn't do any homework with the link. So I was like, let me check out this Mother of God strain. There's nothing for it online. The closest I could find was a Reddit post which deals with this. And it kicks off this Reddit post, biochemist, yeah.
Oh, biochemist.
So
He's been around years.
So the analysis performed was a high-performance liquid chromatography on this 36% now Mother of God strain. This means that no plant matter was actually tested because the sample has to be in liquid form. So because they didn't specify the sample preparation methods, I'm going to assume that they just weighed a nug, soaked it in solvent, probably toluene or H or blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
So, and he goes on to say what they effectively did is the process of doing the test. You make dab essentially with the thing that isolates it. Sorry,
Oh,
guys,
you know what
SOS
this is?
there.
Hang on a minute.
Join the queue.
You know what that is?
I have to answer. Join the queue. Hello?
Fuck, that's an arrest.
That's a live bust, Oaks, live on air.
There's somebody in deep shit on the hotline there with this business card here.
There we go.
Yeah. So, but what this thing did for me, so this guy said, we must do our homework, there's a 36% THC, it's this Mother of God. And then the only thing I found was this Reddit, and the top most liked and commented on one was about this oak who said, listen, the way they tested it actually isn't accurate because you've just isolated a thing, and now it's 36% THC
Of
test
what
on what
you
isolated, not the
isolated.
whole bud.
Right.
And then I also read more, and it turns out a big thing that people are doing is when you buy a bud, there's a degree of moisture in it, because that's how a good bud is.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a bit of moisture. And they're saying what oaks are doing to cheat the tests, it's almost like doping, is that when they do the test, they take the bud and they dry it to its absolute driest. So that when they do test it, the gram per gram is not a gram of when you would have bought that bud in its natural form.
Okay.
So they're like cheating the scale. So they're making it lighter so that the THC is more relative. So the THC would be higher in the most driest form per gram than if it still had a pinch of moisture.
Well, to a certain degree, because if you dry it that much, you're going to start decarbon, and you're going to start losing your THC. It's going to literally start changing.
They say they do it just before the test. They literally they flash dry it before the test at the lab.
Yeah, but still, it's. I mean, look, that's just going to create.
You see,
it is because you just you're drying the plant matter, so the what you're losing is just a bit of moisture from the plant.
There's a way,
But it would start as a gram and end as 0.8 of a gram.
my bottom line with this whole conversation is this in here must be in and around 70% THC, but I get much more stoned smoking that tropical haze, which just isn't. It's 10, 15, I don't know what it is, but this. So this whole
terpene change. This is different.
36% THC is actually this meaningless thing, but it's a gauge to sell to folk over a counter. Like, here's the Stro rum of weed, so it's like $400 a gram. The more THC in it is, the more expensive the weed becomes. Yeah, in prohibition, I don't know what it's going to be like
that's
later.
the denominator.
But the bottom line is, the more bang for your buck. So it's big business trying to make it into 36 from 25 by fucking around with science and drying it and stuff, but it's in the end quite meaningless.
You're right, because that's what I learned.
Too much. Yeah.
Why do people always want to push the envelope with like, can't you just get high a little bit? Like,
Oh, come on,
Fred.
come on, Fred, what are you fucking
That's
talking
fucking boring, dude.
Come on, Fred. No.
It's all about the biggest cock, dude. You know it's about that. My
human
THC.
nature.
higher than you. Yeah,
What have you got going on in Joburg at the moment? Are you a busy man?
Any gigs?
No, dude, we're like a weird hermit band. But it's cool. Like, we try to do the things on the online things. I do a lot of comedy.
Okay.
So I'm a stand-up comedian as well. It's also.
So can we follow you on like Facebook or Instagram or
can,
anything
dude.
like that? Where?
At Couch Ninjas Band on Twitter, and then I think on Instagram it's just Couch Ninjas, and Facebook as well.
And is there any way we can get the drummer in tonight? Did you find, was the drummer actually able to make it? The guitarist. I do beg your pardon.
Yeah.
He was
somewhere
around.
around, yeah.
He was around.
He was, yeah.
around. He was here.
Oh, there he is. I know.
What the fuck?
You got that satanic
what's
guitar
up,
power.
So,
Magic, dude. Magic. We must have
So
rubbed
this
the
is-
dab rig just right.
Yeah, this is the guitarist. This is the guitarist avatar. Because my guitarist, this is going back to the prohibition, quite interesting. He was like, no, I can't. He's like, I can't get a job if like I'm on this podcast smoking weed and breaking the law. So I was like,
you see now, but that's an issue
shame.
for a whole bunch of people. That's
It
why
is,
we're on
yeah.
the fringes and on the borderline of it.
yeah,
I know, we're used to stuff like that all the
it
time.
happens, yeah.
That's the
We
way
had
it is.
we got to the another edge last week. We had the same scenario with a guest, but he slid in and
Slid out.
slid
Oh,
out
that's
again.
good, yeah.
So he got it, but yeah.
Well,
Like
this is
any
Graham-
good priest
Graham
would.
represents-
On that note, guys, I think we pretty much come to the end of the show though.
Cool.
My only synopsis on the thing is, dude, we listened to you, we did the homework, and the only thing I can conclude about THC testing is that it's all rigged already in a kind of way. It's not standardized.
It's not standardized.
How long is a
yet.
piece of string?
How long is
Weed's
a piece of
fucking
string?
dang, 36%.
Yeah.
I can believe it.
Different tester would have done something different. If they did a gas chromatography, it would have
Totally.
been different.
Yeah.
If they
And
did a
who's-
different type of testing, it would
And who's to say that if you get to 31.2% THC, but you got limousine terpenes in of over 0.8%,
Well, they said
it
the
might
cannabinoids.
kick your ass.
They
eh?
said 36% cannabinoids. Did they say what
Well-
THC was? So it could have been a
Did they?
30%
Is that what they said?
THC or 24% THC with 11 or 9% CBD.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I mean? If it was a 35% total fucking...
But when we get bored in a year's time and we've got the
Cannabinoid.
spectrometer, we'll do audio and
Yes.
But folks,
We need
thank you.
spectrometers.
Like, share, subscribe, stay lit.
Fred, thanks for
Stay
coming,
lit.
Oh,
dude.
you're welcome.
Thank
you
you,
very
mate.
much.
No, I really
Yeah.
could. Absolutely. We actually... It's so cool when you have a guest that has an opinion.
Personality.
And an opinion.
Do not have too many personalities.